Hey you! Welcome to the Lost and Found! Okay, listen. Hear me out before you click away. Listen. I never thought I would find myself on this side of BookTube. Don't get me wrong, I love BookTube, but I love watching the videos. But what I have found in my own personal life, when I read a book and it sticks with me, like it literally guts me, I enjoy it so much, I don't have anyone to rant and rave and talk to about it. Hence, here we are. Okay, here we are. Please join me on this journey. I promise I have some great books up my sleeve, and I just wanted to make this introductory video to my channel and go ahead and inform you why I called it The Lost and Found, what you can expect from me, and then what'll be the next 2 uploads. So the reason I call my channel The Lost and Found is a place where you go if you have lost something or if you have found something. And I really hope that can be the exchange that we're having. I want to recommend books and talk about books that I love, but I also want to hear about what you love. The most important reason that I named my channel this, it was so fitting for me. I read a quote many years ago that said, it was something along the lines of, I don't know exactly, but it said, whenever you read a book, you either lose yourself or you find yourself. And that statement is so true for me. I have lost myself and found myself in many a books. And I was just like, oh, I resonate with that. I resonate with that so much that I have to name my channel this, because it's a quote that I always remember, even though I heard it years ago. So another thing, I just want to read you 3 other quotes that I found that hopefully, if you didn't resonate with the first one, you'll resonate with one of these. But listen, it says, "We will be lost and found 1,000 times along this cobbled road of us." How beautiful is that? Another one. "I told her I was lost in this world and she smiled because she too was lost. We are all lost somehow, but we didn't care. We had the chaos, and in that we found each other." Goosies, like Jennifer Lopez says. Oh God. And the last one, "I got lost in him, and it was the kind of lost that's exactly like being found." Oh my God. I have been lost in a man, in a relationship. Sometimes that's a bad thing. Majority of the time, that's a bad thing. Be careful out there, ladies. Be careful. But in some cases, that feeling, that journey, that evolution of that relationship literally allows you to find yourself along the way. And that is, that's a blessing all in its own. Anyways, okay, never ending about that. But I had to name my channel that because, like I said, it resonates with me so much. Something else you can expect from me is my rating scale. When I am making each video about a particular book, I will tell you whether or not I lost myself in that book or I found myself in that book, okay? And that's gonna be like one of the best parts, because if I was ranting and raving about a book for a long time, I probably found myself in it. And if I was only ranting and raving about a book for a week or 2, it might have been bomb. It might have been great, but I probably just got lost in it. Because Colleen Hoover, It Ends With Us. I found myself. Oh my God. Colleen Hoover, All Your Perfects. Like, yo. Both of those books, I can't wait to talk about them one day. I literally cannot wait to talk about them on my channel. I'll probably end up talking about It Ends With Us first, because that's like a bit more surface level for me versus All Your Perfects. All the feels. Oh my God. Like, anyway, I also want to set the tone and the precedent for my channel, letting you know that majority of the books that I will be reviewing or talking about will be contemporary romance. That is my jam. That is my genre. That is what I love to read and listen to. Hear me out, but here's why. Hear me out. Okay, so I know that a lot of people have a versatile reading collection. or bookshelf or, you know, genre of books they like to consume. But for me personally, reading, I connected with reading and writing, journaling and all of that when I was in middle school, like 6th grade. And probably the end of 5th grade, beginning of 6th grade. But the way I connected with that, or the reason for me connecting with that, was many levels of trauma I had experienced. And one of them was losing one of my favorite aunts. I lost her in the 5th grade. And I really didn't know how to express myself. Anyway, I'm not going to jump into all that. But what I have found was when I read books that were more realistic, they weren't historical, they weren't fantasy, they were literally based in like this time, right now, this world. You know, they're naming states and countries, even if the towns are made up, you know, but it's this space, this realm. It felt more attainable. It felt more realistic for me. It felt like, wow, this love is truly possible. Wow, healing is attainable. Wow, this can happen for anybody. All you have to do is just keep trying. And so, yeah, it just stuck with me. It stuck with me ever since, and that's always been my jam, okay? Now, I do love self-help and self-development books, so you will probably also see those on my channel. But I'm trying to save some of them for a future Instagram, like, book situation I'm gonna have. Or really it's a challenge situation, but each month I also want to focus on a book. So we'll see how many of those I talk about, but the majority of my videos will be about contemporary romance, and obviously there will be some underlying themes or tropes, whether it be, you know, mafia, arranged marriage, I hate you but I love you, friends to lovers, whatever, and I will review each of those books by the rating system that I'm going to give you in another video. And I also wanted to mention that 90% of the books that I will be talking about, I will have listened to on Audible. So in an effort to minimize the amount of paper in my home, the amount of clutter, I had decided after we bought a house that I wanted to go digital with reading. I wanted to go digital. I didn't move all of the books from the last space to this space. I just felt like I rarely reread books. Like, I really have to love it to reread it. And because of that, it didn't make sense for me to have a shelf full of stuff when I am so passionate. I am multi-passionate about many of things. I even work for myself, and my husband is passionate as well. And so we already have a lot of things going on in this house. Like, my husband paints shoes, so he has like a cabinet full of shoe paint and everything he needs for that. I have a cabinet full of makeup and skincare and like just stuff, okay? Stuff. And so in an effort to be more minimalistic in the future, I'm not trying to be minimalist, excuse me. But I just want to purchase less, consume less when possible, and be more intention about what it is I'm consuming and purchasing. And so for that reason alone, I decided that most of my books would be digital. Now, I was reading a ton of them on Kindle, but my current job is actually one of data entry. I deal with absolutely no customers. Well, I work for myself too, but in my corporate job, corporate America, it's data entry. And so we can listen to music all day. We can listen to whatever we want. And I just found it more pleasurable for me to listen to audiobooks than listening to the same 10 songs I love on repeat, because I'm not really a radio listener. You know, I'm still rocking to my 90s playlist, okay? So it just didn't make sense to keep listening to the same songs over and over every day. So yeah, audiobooks, okay? I said all that to say, whether it's an audiobook, Kindle book, or iBook, which are the digital ways I consume what I'm reading or listening to, I will 9 times out of 10 have a picture on the screen of the book cover so you can identify it if you're going to shop for it or look for it yourself. Even if I have the book tangibly, because if I love something a lot, I will buy a physical copy. And most of the physical copies that I buy are self-help and self-development because I love to recommend those to people for healing and, let them borrow it so they can consume the information and gain the knowledge for free. Some of those are contemporary romance that I have bought physical copies of, but majority, like I said, are self-help or poetry books. And so because of that, even if I do have the tangible book, it'll be easier for me to just put it on the screen rather than having to jump up and go get it. Next, I also wanted to mention what else you can expect from me. And so in my rating system, I will make sure that I tell you whether or not I lost or found myself in each of these books. So make sure you check out the next video, which will be about my rating system, how and why, and we'll go from there. So I'm really excited to start this new journey. I hope that you are willing to come along for the ride with me. If so, if you're down for the ride, please hit subscribe. Please. And I also want to do a video about my favorite YouTubers or my favorite booktubers, I should say. Because I personally feel like if you come across my channel and you've never heard of these people, you are gravely missing out. And so I have to mention them. I have to mention them in a separate video, tell you why I love them, and what you can get from listening to each of them. Okay, so I'm really excited about that. And other than that, I just want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I hope that we can exchange some good reads and enjoy one another. I also plan to do maybe some vlogging videos while I'm reading, and possibly those question videos. I love question videos about books, like, oh, who's your favorite book boyfriend, and who's this and who's that. I love that type of content. And then one day I will share my little sanctuary, my sacred reading space with you guys. That'll be a fun video, like a behind the scenes. But for now, I just want to pick up some traction on the channel, make some connections with some people, and let's just enjoy one another. Let's enjoy one another. Let's enjoy what we're reading, and let's connect. Okay? Until next time.